Hello everyone. So in this video, I want to continue talking about failed Jira implementations. And this experience of mine will definitely help you if you're a Jira consultant because sometimes asking the right question can, in the beginning of your consultation, can actually help you a lot. Now, what happened with one of my client? They wanted to evaluate, and they asked me for suggestions on using Jira for creating some kind of a roadmap. Now, whenever I try to understand the client's requirements, I try to pick up these things, small things that they're talking about. Now, this organization, they were already using Jira. So this is actually very important. If your client, your potential client is already using Jira, so it's a very good indication that they want to do something within Jira. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that they only want to use Jira. They can also use and look at other tools. So in this organization, they were already using Jira for like software development and for other use cases, but they wanted to use a tool most likely, and what they told me that their preference is of course to use Jira, and they were looking for solutions where they can actually plan something at a very high level. Like imagine creating some high level roadmap for your goals, your company strategies, your initiatives, your capabilities, basically a very high level plan. But uh, that high level plan will of course eventually lead to deliverables that they will of course track in Jira, right? And that was their requirement. But they had a very, I should say, clear expectations, or they were very focused on what they were looking for from a tool with road mapping capabilities, right? Now, of course, in Jira you can create a roadmap like without using any app. If you're using Jira Cloud and if you're using Jira software, you have the option to use a timeline view, right? And this is great. But at the same time, if you want to plan work across multiple projects, you can of course use advanced roadmaps. So they actually gave me a list of things that they want to do or they expect from this road mapping tool. And Jira's native inbuilt timeline view that comes with a project was not really enough for them. So I decided to show them options like big picture and structure Gantt. At the same time, we also evaluated EasyBI. I know EasyBI is only a reporting tool, but that was somehow like there in the list. And also, obviously, advanced roadmaps and Jira Premium, of course. So what I did, I of course like did a small POC for them, and we spent like few weeks. And the outcome, I mean, I was under this impression that based on, of course, my analysis, based on the feedback from the stakeholders, everyone loved advanced roadmaps because it has those capabilities where you can create an initiative, then you can break it down into epics. So you have the option to create your own hierarchies, and they were actually very much interested, and they were keen to use it. And we decided to basically create a separate project to keep track of these goals or initiatives, and it would be something like a funnel where whenever they have decided to work on something, they will then of course move it to one status, and then based on like in progress or selected for further work status, then people will then break it down further. So we did a POC. They loved advanced roadmaps, and they were quite happy. I was under this impression that they are going to use advanced roadmaps because it was all within one tool. But when we talk about rolling out tools or going live with something, maybe some kind of implementation, I try to suggest like some kind of a go no go, and usually I try to ask them in the beginning, like all my clients, that are you evaluating Jira? Are you just trying to improve something in Jira? So there has to be like a phase somewhere, like some kind of a milestone where you decide that do we want to go further with this rollout or not. And in this case, what happened, one of their key stakeholder, or not even a key stakeholder, I think it was probably their, I think it was some key, yeah, I remember, I think it was the program director, program head. So that person was, of course, not very close to the actual day-to-day work that people do in Jira. That person already had a tool in his mind, and he actually was very keen to use that tool and not use Jira Premium with advanced roadmaps. So I think if I look back, and by the way, for this reason, they decided not to go ahead. They decided to use the other tool, and they will, of course, come to Jira when the right time. Let us say you're working on some high-level goals, strategies, and you're doing some, brainstorming. You can, of course, do that, and when the right time comes, you can, of course, create epics, whatever, in Jira, like when you want to drill it down further. But they were actually very keen on using that other tool because of that key stakeholder. And by the way, this tool that they were, I forgot the name, but it was not really some popular tool for road mapping. It was, I forgot the name. It was a weird tool, which, weird because I never really heard of it. I never really used it, and maybe it was some tool that had some specific features that person, program director, liked, and it is fine. It is totally fine. But I think what I could have done better in this case was ask right questions. Are you evaluating Jira with some other tool? Because when I started talking to them, when I started engaging with them, Jira was the only tool into picture. Maybe because they told me that they already have Jira, I was under this wrong impression that they already have Jira. They will probably stick within Jira, and they will probably never really go out of Jira for this. I think, my feeling was that they are trying to do something within Jira. I never really thought about, they can probably use any other tool. And of course, I'm not really saying it is totally my fault. It's not really about, blaming, but what I'm saying here is that if you're a Jira consultant, if you're talking to someone, if you're trying to solve problems, I think you should also consider these things in your mind. And of course, in this case, it was not really a failure, but it was more about small things that you can do to improve, the outcome. And in this case, if they had told me that they are comparing Jira with this other tool, I could have done like a comparison, and I could have told them very early on that no, Jira roadmap can't do that. And sometimes not asking a question can also lead to some failures. Of course, in this case, it was not really a total disaster. It was just a small thing that I missed. But of course, I helped them not choose Jira by showing them advanced roadmaps, and they realized, or in fact, this person realized that it is not really going to work for us. But I think good thing is that they still wanted to see. They still wanted to look at the advanced roadmaps capabilities in Jira. So I thought I'll probably share this with all of you, because you may encounter something similar in your engagements with your clients. All right, that is it. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.